Okay, so the session, right? Today's session is about the DevOps Center. Have you guys used any deployment tools? Any deployment tools like GitHub, Chainsaid, or any other tools? No. But like as an admin or developer nowadays, you want to push your changes from one org to other org. That's when the DevOps comes into picture. So initially we had like multiple tools, like you can use the external tools to do these deployments. Example, right? They have like the gear set, they have like Copado, but now Salesforce has come up with their internal tool. It's called like a DevOps Center, through which you can do this deployment. So we're going to talk about that, and this is going to be really helpful. Honestly, if you're giving any interview, either it could be admin, either it could be developer, definitely it's going to be helpful because deployment is a very crucial part. So let's just talk about next thing. Like this is like a forward-looking statement. So that means whatever product decision you're gonna make, that has to be based on this, based on the current products available in the market. And yeah, this is Amol Dikshit, and I'm working as a Salesforce technical architect. So I presented a couple sessions in Dreamforce, and we have been leading this group since more than now. It's been actually 2 years now. It's going to be 2 years next month for our developer group. And that's why I've been part of Top Code board member, and I hope you guys join me on LinkedIn. So yeah, so let's talk about what are the key benefits of the DevOps Center. First is like the better work, because what happens is when multiple developers are working in the same org, then in that case you want to have the synchronization between multiple developers, because if you're working on the same component and you have multiple developers, there is a high chance of conflicting components when you're doing deployments. So this DevOps Center is going to help you with better organize the work, and it's going to tracking and whatever example, right? So right now, if you use chainsets, there is no actual better tracking in chainsets because it just takes the data and push it. If you want to see in the past what all changes I did, what are the like what are the versions, you can't do that really. So this will definitely help with tracking and accelerate the releases. Another thing is like the customized pipelines. So what does that mean exactly, right? So when you say customized pipelines, so I can have like multiple org. First, I can have the developer org, then I have my UAT org, then I have my like integration org, then I have production. So you can have like multiple org, and I'm going to show you in a while like how you can configure these multiple orgs in a better way and just with the help of clicks. And another big thing is like seamless integrations with source control. So DevOps internally uses the Git. Have you guys heard about Git? Git control, Git repository. Yeah, so it's gonna use that. It's gonna use the Git internally, sorry, externally, whenever, because this DevOps center is just gonna provide you the UI, and behind the scene it's gonna be connected to the GitHub. And yeah, as I said, like it's going to be just migrate and deploy the changes with the help of just clicks. You are just going to deploy all the changes, and it supports the Fusion teams. Then yeah, now we're going to see like what are the benefits for different users, right? I just said like it's going to be developed, it's going to be useful for everyone. So who all are those people, right? So first of all, it's going to be beneficial for IT teams because they can track customizations of sales processes within like visual pipelines and work items, right? Because all this whatever work line items you're going to create, everything is tracked in Salesforce. So you can definitely create reports on top of it, and this is going to be really helpful for the IT teams. And for admins, it's going to be useful because they can build flows within their own sandboxes to automate the customer support, while programmatic developer extend their work with the code in their own sandbox, right? So one other big benefit is like you can write flows on top of this DevOps. Example, if you want to have some certain feature to be implemented, example, right? So as soon as you deploy this feature, send an email to third-party system. So as an admin, you can do that. So you know what all things are there, and you can definitely write flows on top of it to customize your processes. Then for developers, right? If I'm a developer, for developers, I can use whatever tools I want. You can use customized out-of-box financial services solutions or you can either like you can directly commit your changes to the Git. You have like multiple ways to do the deployment. You can do code, you can use your developer console, and whatever code you do, at the end it's going to go to the Git, and that's how you are going to deploy your changes. So DevOps is just the visual layer that's going to help you out. Then like for release managers, right? So it's going to be best beneficial for them as well because you can migrate all the changes just with the help of clicks. So the biggest benefit of this thing is, as an admin, you don't need to have the actual developer experience. As a novice user, you can just go and try to deploy. You don't need to have the big experience, or you can just go. I can just go there, see the environment, and that's it. Just click. I think I would say like it's definitely easier and better than Genset, because with the Genset you have to create your own. You have to add your own components and upload it. But in this case, the DevOps will tell you what all changes has happened. You just need to click it and push it. That's it. And it's going to be helpful for the CIs as well. I mean, like all the C-level people, because they can more quickly and easily build apps, and they can do all the reporting on top of it. So yeah, so this is how it looks. If you take a look at, you guys can see my screen, right? Okay. So if you see here, this is how it looks. Right now, I have like the approved word items, I have like integration, I have UAT. So right now, in this particular case, we have three different environments. First environment is my developer environment. Other one is like integration. Third one is like UAT, and then after that, I will have the production. So if you take a look at it here, like we have like multiple tickets. For example, I have like one ticket. Suppose my manager assigned me one ticket to build on, so I worked on it. So you can create the work item here. If you want to push it to next environment, you're just gonna click here, and then you can push it to next environment, and from next environment to next environment. It's just a click. That's it. There is nothing to do. Now we're gonna see like how the changes are being done. If you see here, the DevOps center, right? So that will automatically pull the changes for you. It will tell you like, okay, how many files have changed, like two files, three files. And what you can do is next step is like you can create the review. So there is a review process, right? I mean, if you want to deploy your changes and if you want your manager to approve them or do something on top of it, you can do that. So you can just select the components you want to deploy, create the review, then the request will go to your manager. He will review it. As soon as he approves the review, then you can deploy it. So this is how the UI looks here. Now, actually, this is the main important part we're gonna see. So I want to spend more time on the demo because that's the most important part here. So let me just go and log into one of the environments. Just give me a second. I am going to. Okay. So can you guys see my screen? So So I'm going to show you the actual DevOps center, how it looks and what are the steps we have to take. So the first and very important step is for DevOps, we need to install the package. So if you want to do that, what you can do is you can just click on setup. From setup, you can click on dev, select search for dev. It will come up like DevOps Center, and that will ask you to install the package. So right now, I've already installed the package here, so I don't have to do it again. But this is the first important step. And before that, you need to enable the DevOps Center here like that. So once you enable that, and once you install the package, to go. And actually, there is another step. Another step is like you need to go to the Dev Hub, and on Dev Hub you need to enable the Dev Hub. And there is one thing which you need to do is enable the source tracking and developer. This is a very important step. Like enable source tracking in developer and developer pro sandboxes. So what this checkbox does is it will enable all the changes or whatever changes you do in the org, that will enable you to track them. So this is very important. So as soon as you enable this and you create your own sandbox, the new sandbox with whatever you create, that will have this thing enabled. So now let's get back to our DevOps center. So this is, you did this, you did that. Then another step is you need to create the connected app. So I've already created that, but I'm going to show you what all things you need to do there. Search for DevOps. Okay. So this is the connected app you need to create. This is the third step. So in this connected app, there are very few things. Like there are only two or three components which you need to add. You need to add the start URL here, and you need to provide your um, okay. You need to provide the contact email. Then you need to provide the logo image. But this is not important, but it's good to see. You can add the logo, and you need to just provide the start URL here. And as soon as you do that, this is the first step. Your connected app is ready, and the next step is assigning the permission set to the current user, logged in user. So once that is done, you can just go to your user, and there are DevOps related permission sets. So I'm just going to the DevOps here, and I'm seeing here. Okay, if you see here DevOps Center, so we have like few permissions which you need. So right now I've added the DevOps Center manager, the release manager, and center. So like each permission set has their own use. Now I'm the manager and the admin, so I've added all these permission sets from my user. So okay, now we are all set. As soon as you do that, and if we click on the apps, you will see the app here, new tab added. So this is how you configure it. Now I'm going to click here. So this is the actual UI of DevOps Center. So right now we have like four different projects here. So let's just the projects which I've all like this is the demo project which I have. So let's try to create the pipeline. Okay. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to stop and ask. So right now, okay, so we have to do that. So right now, if you take a look here, first thing we need to do is we need to create the environments, right? So if you are an admin, if you are a developer, the first is like this is my developer environment. And right now, what I've done, I have to make it simple. I've only created three environments. One is developer, one is UAT, another one is production. So here, in this case, what we are doing is, I'm a developer or I'm an admin. I'm going to write my code or do my development in my developer environment. Then I'm going to push it to UAT. And from UAT to I'm going to push it to production. So what I've done is I've connected all three environments. This is my developer, this is UAT, and this is bug fixes. So what I'm going to do is, let's just try to. So this is the pipeline we call pipeline. So I've created this pipeline. If you want to it, just click here, and you can add it to the left. You can say, okay, I want to add integration, right? So you can add in another stage here, like example integration. Just need somehow it's getting there, but yeah. So this is how you can add your stage here, and as soon as you do that, the changes will be automatically saved. I'm going to remove the stage because I don't need it, but if you want, you can keep it. So now I have only three environments, and I'm going to activate them. So this is the new project which I'm creating. So let's see what errors. Okay, it is asking me to specify the branch. So let me just create a branch for this. It's going to be UAT. So this, when I say branch, this branch will be created in the Git. The Git is like source code repository which we have. Then, okay, now it's activating. So as soon as I activated my pipeline, now I'm all set to do my development and push my changes. So now what we can do is, I can now, example, you worked on one of the tickets. There is no right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on one of the tickets. So let's just go there and let me do some changes. Just give me a second. So this is my developer environment. I'm going to go here and I'm going to work on something. I'm going to make some change so we can see how it works. So let's just go and try to do something. So I'm gonna go to one of the floors and I'm gonna do some change. This is I'm doing this change as an admin or developer. So I'm going to one of the floors here and let's see if I can change something or maybe I'm gonna create another new flow here just to make it easy. Let's create test screen. I'm gonna be even in demo frame and that's it. I'm gonna just activate it. So now imagine as an admin, you created this flow and now you want to deploy it, right, with the help of DevOps Center. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new work item. So my work item, I'm going to click on new. I'm going to give the subject saying that create demo flow. My Jira number here is uh, Stanford 201 is my Jira number, whatever. Okay, it's my this is what it is. You can assign it to the person. Right now, I'm gonna assign it to me. You can add the description if you'd like. I'm gonna save the same description. I'm gonna click on save. Okay, so if you see here, now one work item is created. I'm gonna click here. Trust me, if you know this, like this DevOps Center, it's gonna be really really helpful for your in any interview if you give, because you know this deployment out. Most people don't know this, so just FYI. So it's very very important. It's like pretty new feature. So if you can tell them that, oh, I know DevOps Center, I have worked with it, it's a plus point really, like for development. So right now it is asking you like where, like what's your development branch. I'm going to select my development branch as dev because this is what my dev is. I'm going to click on proceed. So as soon as I click on proceed, it will try to pull. There are 42 files which are available to pull, and which you have made 42 changes. So as soon as I pull my changes, it's going to tell me that, oh, you made changes or created another flow in that environment. So now let's just wait for this. If you see here, it tells you like the demo flow has been created. Like this is what happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select this component and I'm going to add the comment saying that this is related to Jira, whatever, 1, 2, 3. And if I can add whatever comments I have. And if you see here, it has created another branch. Do you remember I was talking about the Git? So this is where the new Git branch created for me for my work item. So if you click here, it will navigate you to your Git branch. So this is the new Git branch which I have created. It doesn't have anything right now. So, and if you see a CCI bug fixes, this is what it is. And here the multiple branches will be created. If you see that we have main, we have UAT, and this is my temporary branch, like for my work item branch. So as soon as work item is deployed to main, it will be deleted. So let's go ahead and take a look at Jira here. So right now I did that to commit the changes. So I'm just committing these changes to my Git. Okay, now it's committing. First, you will see there is a button called as like create review. So this create review will tell you that, okay, do you want to review your changes with your senior managers or whatever. So it's still doing the commit operation. So we'll just wait for a second. Sure.
I have one question. I'm
Sure,
sorry,
of
I
course.
forgot my line.
Of course.
Like while doing the commit changes, if it has any like overlapping, does it notify
Yes.
or we need to?
So question is if there are any any errors. It says yes. As soon as if you find any errors, it will tell you, oh, there. So it will there will be like error scenario wherein you just need to go there, conflict before you move forward. Yes, it tells you all the errors. Actually, it is like exactly similar to our Git, like whatever Git it is, whatever operations Git does, whatever error handling or validations Git does, everything is done here. it just provides you the virtual Salesforce. It's very easy. You don't have to go
Yeah.
anywhere else. Yeah, but that's a great question. Yes. Commit has been done. Now the create review button has enabled. I'm going to click on create review. Okay, so if you see here, the change request has been created. And if you want to take a look at what all changes I have made, right, you can just click here and it will navigate to the Git and it will tell you, okay, I have one file change. The file is the demo flow, right? If you see a demo flow, that means only one file has changed and I want to deploy it to the next environment. It tells you. And then now my manager or whoever it is, example, he looked at it and he says, okay, it's all look good, you're good. So there is a button called as like ready to promote that tells me that it is ready to go. Just click on ready to promote and that's it. It will be moved to ready to promote and that's it. The changes, whatever we had to do, we are done here. Now my change is ready to commit. I'm all set. Now how to deploy, right? So I'll go to pipeline and on pipeline you will see the stages, right? So there are multiple stages. If you take a look here, it is my approved work items. Okay, this item, this is the create demo flow which I wanted to deploy, right? So the first section will have this checkbox. So you can select, example, I want to deploy this. Select this, click on promote selected. So if you see promote selected button here, it will have, I think you have seen this when you deploy the through chain set, you will see the similar thing. Either you can run the local test, either you can run all tests, or you can specify your test. And also, like you can specify whether you want to deploy only this specific change, or you want to deploy everything from one org to other org, right? So like all changes. In this case, I'm going to choose like changes not in UAT stage. So whatever changes I don't have, only deploy specific things. I don't want to deploy everything and I'm going to click select here default and just click on promote. As soon as I do that, you're done. So it will start the deployment. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to another org, log in, accept the change set, nothing. It's just promoting your change with the help of one click. Right now, it's just promoting that change. So like, so if you take a look at this thing, it's gonna save like a lot of time, right? Also like here also, according to your question, here also it will tell you if there are any deployment errors, it will tell you here like there is a deployment error, you need to fix it. So in this case, if you see here right now, it tells me that there is an error. This is how you it will tell you like there is some error. So let's see what the error is. So if there is any error, you need to go to activity history. Okay, now it tells me that it failed because your API version is 59 because my org is not accepting 59. So what I have to do is I'll have to update the version to 58 so that way I will be able to push my change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to update my flow version to 58. I'm going to click on done. I'm going to click on save as, save. I'm going to click on activate. And yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go again to my work items because that's where it was. So this was my work item. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck this checkbox because it's not ready to promote now. So now I'm coming back to my original screen and it tells me that one file is available to pull. That means the change which I did just now, that is available to pull. So I'm going to click on pull changes. So that the demo flow. If you see here, now it tells me, oh, there is change in demo flow. So I'm going to select that, updated demo flow. I'm going to click on commit changes. It's committing the change. Okay, this commit is completed. So I'm going to go take a look here. Let me see what the file has changed. If you see here, the API version has been updated to 59 now in this particular change request. It tells me the promotion has blocked. It's still processing. That's fine. So because it is processing the commit version, that's the reason it is telling me you can't promote yet. So let's just wait for a few seconds. Okay, this is good. Now it's ready to promote. I'm gonna click on ready to promote. Now my deployment is again ready. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to select this component again because now I made my changes. I'm going to click on promote. I'm going to click on promote here. Now let's see if the error has been resolved or not. Now it's trying to deploy the again with the new version, the error which we got. Okay, look at this. The promotion is successful. So in this case, we saw how the error occurred, how we fixed the error, and how we push the changes. Now, in this case, if you want to push this change to next item to production, you just need to do one more click. That's it. Like there is no other. If you click on promote work bundle to production, the same thing will happen. It will push this change to production, and that's it. If you take a look, just give version number, deploy it, you're all good. So this is how the overall version is. This is how it looks. Any questions in this particular scenario, whatever will look.
Maybe this is not related. I'm just
Absolutely.
asking because I haven't used them, but
Absolutely.
I have idea how
Right.
it works. Is there a way to pull a report like once the changes are done once in a quarterly?
Right.
Is there a way to pull a report to show what other changes are
Right.
made and how many times
Right. Right.
and
That's
how many errors and
right.
conflicts were
Right.
resolved?
Right. So there are two things here. First thing, as I told you, everything is tracked in Git. So if you take a look at it here, let me share my screen again, full screen, so that way everyone can see. So where is my screen? Yeah. So first thing, like everything is tracked in Git, right? So the thing, if you want to get report, you can even go to the Git and take a look what all changes has happened, what all things has happened. That is one way to get pull all the reports because everything is tracked in Git. Like you can see all the changes and everything, literally everything. There is one way. Another way is if you see here, I think I showed you the work items. So all the work items are being tracked, or all the records are created in Salesforce. You can literally create a report on work items, whatever work items you have, because those are records created in Salesforce. So you can always create those records. You can always create the report, and you can showcase. Okay, in in this particular sprint, I have pushed 100 work items. That can be done because so when you say feed tracking, everything is tracked in Git because Git is the one who is. It's like as I told you. Yes, the thing is that the Git DevOps center, right? It just already provides you the UI to do the interaction with the Git. And if you see, like there are only few clicks which lets you do the deployments, and like everything is tracked in the Git. So if you go to Git, can you guys see my screen or no? Oh, I see. Let me just stop the screen so I think you can just quickly see this one too. So let me just share my whole window.
Do the developers who are working together in the project, they are allowed to see the data. That means
Right.
it's not everybody.
That's correct. So yeah, there is one step I forgot to tell you guys before you when you create the project, right? You need to connect your Git account to this project. So that way it will be connected.
You
And
can keep a track of what is changing and how it
that's correct. Yeah. So if you see my screen here, in this case, you can see what all changes commit has happened. What is the source code? It will tell you all the stuff. Like example, right? So if you take a look at it here, if I see my pull request, it tells me, okay, what is the pull request open right now? How many pull requests have closed? If you see here, it tells me that this particular pull request that was closed and one file has been changed for this particular request. So you will have everything tracked, literally everything, all the components from start to end.
So every user who has the access of Git will have all the permission, or they can set permissions for each person also.
That's a great question. So if you see, like as I told you, like once you create a project in DevOps, you need to have you need to connect your GitHub to your Salesforce project, and if you go to settings, this is my repository. On repository, you need to go to the collaborators, and in collaborators, you need to add those users. Let me just show you how it works. So if you have like GitHub users created, you can click on add people here. So if you click add people and you can just give your username As soon as you add it, the person who is using this DevOps will have access to this repository. And
So
that,
can we limit the access of the user?
yes,
Because you are admin
yes,
in this case.
that's right.
Depending on the profile.
Yes, so actually, if you take a, let me see if I can. I'm not sure if you have. Actually, there are so many people. So if you see here, if I select someone, so there are multiple ways to add it. Yeah, that's right. So I don't want to do that because this is a different person. But there is a way actually. You can only give read permission, only write permission,
Yeah, that's just
collaborator.
one.
Yeah,
Thank you for
and
answering that.
this is all related to Git. So this is all Git. That is 100% can be done. Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's a great question. Okay. So this is what it is. And now, can you guys see my screen? I know
Yeah.
the PPT.
Not yet. We are
Okay. Now,
service.
okay. So that's what. Okay. So this is what it is. Now we just saw the demo, and then any other questions? Anything?
So you spoke about the Copilot tool. So the screen is showed like, is it if we have Copilot tool, it's everything is like click, drag and drop. It works like that.
Yeah. So if I show you whatever we just now did,
Yeah.
that's the only thing we need for any developer or admin.
So
Because
it's not a basic installation. It's installed. You have to buy the
Just
tool,
the
Copilot
package.
tool.
it's just a package on top of, and the best thing is it's free. So you have to pay for
So it was
Copilot.
like that before, or it's
So
just
actually,
a
it's
new?
it's a pretty much new. I mean, like I would say like in last 1 year or two, but like not everyone is using it. But nowadays, if you don't wanna pay for any other third party tools, this is your way, and everything for free. Just with the help of a couple clicks, and everything is in Salesforce, so you don't have to go to any other application. So
And then everything.
yeah.
So like the chain set management and everything, you can just use this tool and just check
Now,
all
if you see
this.
chain set, you'll have to go to create chain set,
Yeah.
add the components each one. Like if you made like 100 changes, you have to go each component
Each and
add.
everything. It's like
Here it will
every
tell you, oh,
10
you made 10 changes. It will tell you. So like you just select whatever you
So
change.
like can you in our volunteer project you can just do it right, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The only you'll have to use the developer org, and
Yeah.
yeah, so that should be done. But the only thing is that you can only install this in your production org,
Yeah. You
because
need to install production
yeah,
order.
because the thing is that this particular DevOps center, right? If you sandboxes get refreshed all the time, so sandboxes are not the perfect place to install. So it has to be installed in production, and that way it will take all the changes from all the sandboxes. So yeah, that's the thing. But trust me, like if you tell them that I have done this in my, or I have worked on this, it's going to be like really really big. I'm telling you, like because like deployments are a very very important factor in any development activity. Because although you could be a good admin developer, but if you don't know how to do collaborate with other teams, and you don't know how to do the deployments, that's a different part. So it's definitely also like I have one quick thing. So if you guys have access to this, I've created one. This is like a very simple trailhead actually. Okay, so I just gave you the link. So you just need, if you can complete this, you guys will get a swag. So that's this. Yeah. So I just pinged the link there, and this trailhead is like very very simple, only one page. So if you could just go there and finish this, you'll get a swag. And last screen is like, thank you so much for joining this event. And yeah, so if you could just finish this particular trailhead, uh, you will get swag right now.
I already did.
Oh, you already did. Cool, congratulations, you already got it. That's great.
All right now, okay.
Yeah. So Monica, if you have that one too, so if you could finish this module, you will get your gift next time whenever you're in person. Well, thank you so much, and I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to